And we should have a rash of excitement now as this night unfolds, with far and away the NBA's most exciting player and a young but somewhat effective supporting cast this year, as the Bulls are right around the 500 mark. Cliff Robinson will grab Tim McCormick's tap and we get it going here. Jim Paxson guarding Mo Cheeks. Jordan is guarding Andrew Toney. Barkley gets the ball down low and it's all over. Now you see Jordan with it. Andrew Toney has the unenviable chore tonight of trying to hang tough with this man right here.
And there's no way that you're going to stop Michael Jordan one-on-one. There isn't a player in the league can do that. Andrew, of course, will have help. You
have to give him room, which Andrew did there, but you can pay that price as well. Robinson again, going on Sellers, the rookie, and Cliff Robinson with a miss. And the first rebound of the night for Charles Oakley. Charles Oakley and Charles Barkley. I'll get it right.
Well, you got both the guys that are going to be doing all the rebounding.
Here's Sellers wide open.
Brad Sellers from Jordan.
So the Bulls go on top 4-2. Oakley really came on last year when the Bulls ran into some real severe injury problems. He got a lot of playing time. They really found out how good he was. February and March he came on. Toney moving on Jordan and a bump foul there, and Michael Jordan commits his first foul.
And this could be interesting. Maybe Andrew will be able to put enough pressure on Michael to make him a little bit tired, so he won't be able to play so much offense.
Here we go again. They isolate once more for Andrew. He goes left and right and gets the basket. Toney will guard Jordan at the other end, and he's fronting him right now in a very physical way. Sellers open again.
And that's a strange-looking shot. He shoots the ball on the way up, a little bit like Manning does for Kansas, but very effective.
Sellers out of Ohio State. They've used him at center somewhat this year. They're going at him at forward right now. Barkley and Oakley. Sounds like a comedy team. No fun there, though, as Charles battles his way through the Bulls and nails one again.
And, Jim, what is interesting, they're going to let Oakley play Barkley man-to-man without help starting out the game.
Well, he'll get an education. Sellers is doing a job, though, on the offensive end. As he swings by Cliff Robinson for his third field goal. Paxson guarding Cheeks. Looks like they're trying to really get Jordan involved defensively here. All kinds of theories about what you do with Michael Jordan. I don't think anybody's found the perfect one yet. Paxson. Paxson commits fewer turnovers per minutes played than any player in the league.
And he's basically the Cheeks of the Chicago Bulls. He's the steady, sound player.
He misses this one, and Robinson outletting to Mo Cheeks. Paxson has one turnover for 76 minutes of playing time. Think about that. Barkley again, and Sellers helps out and comes up with a block and steal. Corzine can hit that shot.
And that's where Corzine is good. Just that open 18-foot jump shot.
And he likes it right out on top of the key there. Bulls 10 and the Sixers 6, and a foul away from the basketball. And this one's going to be called on Charles Oakley.
We were talking about Barkley. They will double team him when he's out on the wing and puts the ball on the floor. They feel that if they can force him to the middle, and once he puts it down, bring somebody in there and don't let him use that spin move. That's the whole strategy Doug has with Barkley. In the post-up area, he'll just go one-on-one with Oakley playing.
It's going to be tough figuring out who the foul's on. Both Oakley and Barkley wear the same number. 34. Robinson misses the jam, but there's Charles with the rebound, the follow-up, and he's fouled. 6 points for Charles Barkley.
His first, team third.
Charles is just such a vicious rebounder. He gets such great position in there. You can see he also gets by with a shove, which also helps.
Sellers with a personal foul. A quick 7 of the Sixers' 9 points for Charles Barkley. Talking about the ways to defense Jordan, one of them is right here. If you can keep the pressure on Paxson, he has trouble getting it to Michael Jordan sometimes.
And Cheeks does that about as well as any guard in the league, applies that pressure.
Not that time, though, as Paxson hits one and down the other end. Robinson losing the handle, and the Sixers working the ball inside now. They're getting the Bulls to commit those fouls. That's the 4th foul now for the Bulls early on here, the 2nd for Sellers.
And that last play was a rookie mistake. Cliff had penetrated the lane area and actually was waiting in there for the ball. Brad Sellers gets stuck behind the player when he was so close to the basket. You just can't stop a player when he's in that deep.
They're going to make a move, I believe, to get Sellers to the bench, and another Philadelphia favorite, Gene Banks, coming into the game shortly. Jordan posting low, and Andrew Toney going to be called for the foul. It looked like Jordan initiated that foul. He was able to kind of wrap himself around Toney.
Well, Jim, what did happen there? Andrew did the smart thing. He did not want Jordan to take the position there, and so he did use his body very well.
Paxson, who hardly ever turns it over, as we just said, turns one over.
He had 3 on that one play.
So now we've got to wait 76 more minutes for the next one.
Yeah, that's a lot of overtimes if we're waiting tonight.
Blocked again, but Cliff Robinson comes out with it, and he slips.
Twisted his ankle.
He twisted what has been a chronic ankle problem for him. And oh, brother, the Sixers have really had ankle upon ankle injured this year. You'll watch Robinson slip as he makes his move. Watch.
Uh-oh, it looked like he tripped up on. It's hard to say, Jim. The ankle did turn, though.
Well, attention is being paid to Cliff Robinson with the score, Bulls 12 and Sixers 11. We'll be back after this. So with 7:05 remaining in the first quarter and Cliff Robinson limping gingerly to the bench, the Sixers trailing by 1. Don't forget that search for Charles Barkley's missing sneaker, the contest of which ends tonight. So stay tuned at halftime for another clue as Mark Zumoff comes your way with another Prism Sports presentation and another clue. The winner will be announced on February the 18th.
And I can't win it, right? I figured the whole thing out.
I think I said Mark Zumoff. Larry Rosen will be your host on Prism Sports tonight, but he's got the clue. Have you got it figured out yet?
I think I have it figured out.
Well, don't say anything.
No.
You can whisper to me privately later.
Correction, Mike Brown knows the game date for Charles Oakley. Cliff Robinson.
The great thing about the Bulls, the 2 things that they do very, very well, they commit very few turnovers, a little over 15 a game. And number 2, they're the best rebounding team in the league. So any coach will tell you that the 2 areas of the game that if you can do them well, turnovers and rebounds, you have a chance to stay in most of the basketball games. And of course, having Michael Jordan doesn't hurt.
Michael Brown, big number 17, 250 pounds, as Jordan fires away from just inside the 3-point range. I couldn't even get Michael Brown into the game before Jordan fired away. Brown guarding Cliff Robinson as Oakley picked up his 2nd foul. Oakley and Sellers each with 2 fouls for the Bulls. Barkley another rebound over Banks as he works in traffic. And a 3-second violation. Looked like Charles worked his way to a good shot there, but passed it up, and in so doing, cost the team a turnover as the Sixers called for 3 seconds.
Michael Brown is coming off the best game he's had as a pro, 17 points. He finally got a chance to play. Doug Collins likes him.
Jordan with the quick turnaround off the baseline pick. Misses for a change. Sixers still down by 1. It's 14-13. Tim McCormick with it. Faces up on Corzine. Rebound to Brown. Atlantic 10 fans will recall he played at George Washington University, then played in Italy last year where he had a successful season. Here's Paxson the miss, and a good rebound by McCormick as he takes it away from Jordan. Robinson. What for in there, and down goes Barkley and Brown. Boy, that's a lot of beef hitting the deck. Here's Jordan. Got them all.
What a move, what a move. Just has that ability to shoot that ball up on the board. Great athlete.
16-13. McCormick can't connect, and the Sixers turn it over once more, losing control underneath the backboard. And the Bulls with a 3-point lead with 5:20 to go in the first quarter. Gene Banks. And the Sixer defense breaking down now as the Bulls getting some easy shots and converting. 18-13 as Banks was wide open.
That's a hard play to defend when you work off that screen. You got to give help from the guy that sets the screen, the defensive player.
Barkley on, or Banks on Barkley. Here's Andrew Toney, no. Whoa, that ball looked like it was tapped out of the cylinder there. No call. Jordan the pass. And Michael Brown the shot, and the Sixers want a timeout while they argue with Bennett Salvatore. 4:41 to go in the first quarter. The Bulls 20 and the Sixers 13, and the fans upset.
On that last play, Jim, oftentimes players don't use the bounce pass enough. That whole area was so congested. Michael Jordan, of course, this is all going to be set up now with good rebounding, but it looked like goaltending, obviously. The ball was up on the rim, so that's why everyone was booing. But now watch this bounce pass. Just an absolutely perfect pass to be able to go right between the two defenders there. And of course, Brown is able to finish the play off, but just an absolutely perfect pass on the money. Some players, when they throw that pass, they have a tendency to throw it too low to the ground, and the ball will skip on him. Michael Jordan, being the complete player that he is, can really do anything he wants with the basketball.
Well, with Michael Jordan's passing and shooting, the Bulls are shooting 10 for 13 right now at 77%. That certainly accounts for their 7-point lead as we watch Doug Collins at work.
And Doug, it's really good seeing him coaching. Jim, when I was coaching him, Doug was always a dedicated player, a guy that was really into the game, and one of the very best as far as execution was concerned. Of course, in those days when the team was rebuilding, Doug was a key player. He was an eager young player, willing to learn, and really learned a lot about execution. And obviously, as a coach, he's going to be a stickler, I'm sure, for execution.
Doug Collins was the #1 pick in all of the NBA draft back in 1973, coming off that excellent Olympic season, the summer prior to the NBA season.
Remember that game?
Oh boy, Joy, I was there.
That was incredible. I just could not believe it.
Robinson, ginger ankle and all, going up. And he creates another foul in there. The Bulls committing a lot of fouls among their big people.
Chicago's over the limit. Cliff Robinson.
And this will be Cliff Robinson. One more for Robinson, who has 5 in the game. And the Sixers close to within 5, 20-15. Now a little pressure three-quarter court as Cheeks jumps all over Paxson. Jordan, he just kind of wanders around out there, ready to pick his spot at a second's notice. The turnaround by Mike Brown.
And that's what Mike Brown does. He catches the ball and jumps over. He doesn't have a lot of finesse down there. He's just going to catch it and try to jump up and shoot it.
Double team on Barkley, the open man McCormick the other side, and he has it poked away. And Jordan now on a 1-on-3 breakaway. Let's see what he does with it. Corzine left alone. Corzine will rarely miss that shot. Sealed by Corzine.
And he is so used to passing, he was not even looking for the shot. He was wide open. I guess so. You're probably always saying, where's Michael?
What's he shooting? About 40 shots a game. Brown way outside hits the shot.
Mike Brown.
6 quick points for Mike Brown off the bench. Now Robinson, Brown on him. Cliff a little too fast for Brown.
Yeah, Cliff has just too much quickness on the outside playing against Brown. Of course, Brown is a pretty imposing force on the inside.
2:45 left to go, opening quarter. As Corzine takes the pass, goes in on Tim McCormick. Rebound Barkley. Cheeks, no. Barkley has it poked away. Here's Robinson with it, and down it goes. 10 points now for Cliff Robinson.
And good passing on the inside. Outstanding passing.
And it's a 5-point Chicago lead. Jordan didn't waste any time going to the hoop that time, and he draws the foul. He got over there. You know, he's so used to being double-teamed, Gene, I guess, that he's perfected a move now where he'll just about is shooting the moment he touches the ball.
And that didn't look like much of a move, did it? You know, with that quick head fake, but when he got up in the air, there was nobody there.
He does get to places where other guys can't jump to, that's for sure. You know, he only scored an average of 13 points a game in college. And the
Dean
joke,
Smith,
the
yeah, I know.
You know the joke? You tell the joke.
Well, it goes something like, you know, how can you be the greatest coach? How does it go?
It goes that the only guy ever to hold Michael Jordan under 20 points a game was Dean Smith.
One thing about Dean Smith, though, we don't want to give people the wrong impression. He does play a lot of players.
And he wins a lot of games.
Wins a lot of games.
Remembered as one of the all-time great coaches, that's for sure. Here's a foul on Mike Brown.
And I think that's good. You know, when you recruit a player and you promise the player that he's going to play, Dean Smith backs up what he says. A lot of times players get off to college and, you know, they're very good high school players. They end up someplace and they never get a chance to play. But over the years, Dean Smith has had the best talent, I would say, of any coach in basketball.
We've certainly seen a few pass through here. Billy Cunningham and Bobby Jones for 2.
Oh, I heard Billy Cunningham. He was being interviewed the other day. He said he was being compared to someone from North Carolina. And he said, well, there's no comparison because we didn't win when I was here.
Sixers 13 foul.
The Bulls 25 and the Sixers 20.
Billy was quite a player. Quite a rebounder.
Cheeks giving Paxson some trouble in there. Yeah, Billy had to do it all when he was on the team. Score,
2 minutes
rebound.
remaining in the quarter. 2 minutes.
Cheeks helping out that time, saved Jordan from penetrating. Now he forces him into a fall away, and that's good defense by the Sixers. And Cheeks beating the Bulls down the floor.
That was good defense by Andrew Toney on that last possession.
Now Gene Banks is going to go straight up with it. He's short. Cliff Robinson again, and a nice little move. Oakley with 2 fouls already, kind of shied away from Cliff Robinson that time, backed off, and the Robinson layup, and that's 12 points now for Cliff. Brings the Sixers back to within 1.
We've talked about this before, Jim, and the value of a Charles Barkley, or anyone for all that matters, a player who is able to rebound the basketball. Now watch Charles run by people. See, he's already beaten 2 players, so that's what gives you the advantage on the fast break. It's strictly a numbers game on the break. If you have 1 player that can beat 2 players, now you're off to the races. So it is such an asset to be able to take that ball out and run it on the break. The classic player we have in the league, of course, is Magic Johnson, who does it often. He is the Laker fast break. Of course, he has all those quick players out there on the break with him. Worthy, who is just great on the break, and Byron Scott.
Here's Charles Oakley out of Virginia Union, the NCAA Division II Player of the Year 2 seasons ago. Doug Collins at work. Let's have a look at tonight's toughest matchup. Andrew Toney, but he'll get some help from Mo Cheeks when he needs it here.
All right. For all the young people that are watching, what Andrew did there was he moved his feet. Thus he was able to have position on Michael Jordan at all times, and he stayed right with him by moving his feet. He didn't reach in and try to play defense with his hands. He was playing defense with his feet, and that's what you have to do. Position him and forced him into a bad shot. We were looking at Oakley and Jordan, Oakley and Barkley. These names are tough. Oakley, excellent offensive rebounder, but he's not a leaper. And so what happens when Oakley rebounds on the boards, a lot of offensive boards, you'll see him get the shot blocked. There's a big difference when Charles gets it off the boards because he has such leaping ability and a finish.
Devastating finish. He's leading the league in field goal percentage with those finishes, and there goes that Oakley into position. He wants the ball desperately. Roy Hinson on him. Jordan around the little mini screen there and off the glass again.
Just a little head fake. You know, he just showed him a little quickness, made his strong move, and just a good example of a player just uses his quickness when he has to.
Here's Robinson again, going to challenge Michael Brown. Gene Banks has the rebound. Paxson with it. Oakley really wants the ball in there. He's taking some liberties there, being that he has 2 personal fouls already. Now from outside, Charles Oakley.
Charles Oakley, he's big and tough. You know, he doesn't take anything from anybody. He's just starting to shove Hinson around a little bit.
29-24. Sixers will probably wind it down to the final shot here in the first quarter.
What you want to do on a play like this is force the player a certain direction, which just happened.
Robinson about 18 feet away. 29-26, the Bulls. Jordan way outside, he misses at the buzzer. And so at the end of the first 12 minutes, the Chicago Bulls 29 and the Sixers 26. And a look now at a member of the NBA's all-rookie team last year, number 34, Charles Oakley. He's playing like a guy's been around a few years. Ask Roy Hinson, huh?
He has that big body. You may as well use it when you have that big body. He is a tough player, though. He
shows an outside touch right here for his only 2 points of the game. Those of you keeping a Michael Jordan watch, he had 9 points in the first quarter. But Cliff Robinson led the way for the Sixers with 14 points. And here comes World B. Free into the game, and maybe the significance of that is that this is the first time World's played in 2 games.
Well, the significance is that World has really had some great games, great shootouts with Michael Jordan. He's a player that will make Michael Jordan work on the defense.
Here they go. Jordan goes around, left, up, and almost gets an incredible shot.
But as you said, Jim, the problem is World has not played, so how sharp he'll be, we don't know. But
both World and Steve Coulter have sat out the last 2 Sixer games as Matty Gukas has developed renewed confidence in Andrew Toney.
See, when you're a player like Jordan, we just saw him post up there. He can do whatever he wants in the post. He can take it to the baseline, take it to the right. And the same thing out on the floor. The guy can shoot from the outside, takes it to the right or to the left. He's just has all the skills that you need to be an offensive player and a great offensive player.
And the Sixers trail now by 5 once more. This is Roy Hinson. Oakley on him. Hinson from the outside, and Oakley a rebound. They got some big guys out there now with Brown and Oakley on the floor at the same time. John Paxson hits. That's 4 points for him.
And he can do that. Paxson can come down there and just face you, look at you in the eye, and just hit that outside shot.
World B misfires. Barkley can't control the rebound. The Bulls off and running. Michael Brown again. He has given the Bulls a lift. 8 points for Brown as he comes off the bench. And the Sixers want to send their players to the bench. A timeout called by Matty Gukas. The Bulls 35, the Sixers 26. We'll be back right after this. Well, the Sixers got within a point toward the end of that first quarter, but a run again by the Bulls. And you see 35-26 up by 9.
It's amazing how players change their game. Michael Brown in college was, my recollection of him, was an inside player. Obviously, the time has been well spent for him. He's just coming down, shooting that outside shot with range and with confidence. Again, he got his first chance to play the other night against Boston, and he obviously has a little confidence.
And a big difference in shooting. You see the numbers. Julius Erving, you saw him on the bench, and that probably more than anything accounts for the reason World B Free getting some early playing time here. Here's a misfire underneath intended for Robinson. The Bulls again. And there's one, a bad pass this time by Jordan, as that one did skip. Took a funny little slide there, and out of bounds it went. Well, he's human. Free takes it in another couple of strides. Little head fake on the jump shot, and then another dribble, and World B has his first field goal. And he's guarding Michael Jordan now. Jordan goes right around on him and a miss. Charles, three-point shot. Hinson. Free just a little short with it. Hinson picks up the loose ball in there and lays it home. A lucky bounce, but the Sixers will take it. And they're back to within 5. 35-39, 45 to go, first half. Michael Brown the miss. Barkley banks on him, and Charles is fouled by Gene Banks.
Personal foul, Gene Banks. His first.
First foul of the game for Banks.
For the Bulls, number 12, Curry Young enters the game for Michael Jordan.
And Charles Barkley taking his time getting to the free throw line. Hit the deck pretty hard.
Now this is interesting. This is a new player in the game. The Bulls just picked up this Harry Young. So he's getting his baptism right away.
Yeah, they rescued him from the Wyoming Wildcatters in the CBA. He played for Virginia Tech with Del Curry. And then went on to the CBA and now called up here by the Bulls. One of the Bulls injuries that they've had to replace, Dale Freet with an injured finger. And Elston Turner has been hobbled by thigh problems.
Yeah, he got kicked in the thigh in practice. Doug was telling me that the thing just really blew up. Another size, half the size of his leg.
35-32. Banks with it. Gene Banks, a rainbow jump shot and a rebound to Hinson. Well, B is thinking about it, and he fooled Mo Cheeks that time.
Chicago substitution, number 6, Brad Sellers returns for Gene Banks.
Funny about World B, he's missed a couple of jumpers now, and I guess maybe he's thinking a little bit that he doesn't want to look like he's hogging the ball, and he made a pass that time that Mo Cheeks wasn't ready for.
Oakley. Charles Oakley.
Oakley gets a lot of those shots blocked in there like that. Again, he's not one of these guys that can really jump all that well.
Cheeks with it now to Robinson, who's been hot. Not this time. Oakley the rebound, Paxson the basketball here. He dribbles into wide open territory. John Paxson.
I was about to say, too, with these new players in the lineup, this seems like it would be a time the Sixers could make a move just as the Bulls just hit the last 2 shots.
Barkley following up the Mo Cheeks drive. 12 points for Barkley. Corzine looking like Methuselah down there.
Wait, I tell Dave that. Methuselah.
Give me a head start before you tell him. Reno. Barkley had a battle through the pack to get the rebound, and the foul called on the youngster Perry Young. As Andrew Toney and Tim McCormick are in now for the Sixers.
Andrew Toney and Tim McCormick return for Maurice.
Charles does get away with a little push now and then.
Charles getting a rest now, and a well-deserved one. He's got 12 points and 10 rebounds already. Robinson fakes and hooks and scores. And Cliff is really off to a running start here. 16 points. 39-36. Now Corzine. This is Brad Sellers. Saved in there by Oakley. Now saved again by Paxson, who looks back for some instruction from Doug Collins. Michael Jordan getting a little rest here for the Bulls, and they're adjusting without him. Corzine with the little soft hook shot. Corzine really started a new era at DePaul. He's really the first of a wave of players that have put that program back on the map.
Yeah, he broke a lot of George Mikan's records while he was there.
You played against George, did you?
I played against everyone, Jim.
Nice pass to Sellers.
You know something, Jim? George Mikan was playing when I first broke in the league.
The old hook shot.
He was a vicious player, George Mikan. You know, he'd rip your head off. You ever get up to try to block his hook? It wasn't like a classic hook shot.
Andrew Toney has it knocked out of bounds, but a whistle. And Paxson called for the foul. It's his first.
Andrew's a very good post-up player. He has control of the basketball. Paxson, the whole time he had it down there, was, pushing him, but good control there, because Paxson, you get called for hand checking when you have that arm extended. But Paxson was doing some work. He had his arm in close to his body. The officials allow you to get away with that. Then he just chopped him when he went up for the jump shot. Jordan back in the game for the Bulls. And Charles didn't get a whole lot of rest, did he?
No. Barkley back in the game for the Sixers, and Andrew Toney gets one to fall. Enters starter tonight with Julius Erving out of the lineup. So we have Toney and Free in the backcourt.
Well, that's a lot of firepower.
Andrew misses the second one, and Brad Sellers rebounds to Jordan. Toney guarding Jordan once more. Now Corzine will look inside for Jordan. Here he is. And a little drag step by Oakley and a travel.
Yeah, you have to learn to put that ball down on the floor. The fake was good, but the walking was not.
Andrew, nice pass to McCormick. And a delay move by McCormick, and he gets free for the layup.
Still one of the toughest plays in the game, that pick and roll play. Tough play to defend.
First deuce of the night for Tim. This is Perry Young. He was averaging 16 points a game in the CBA. But then almost everybody does.
Yes.
Young missing.
You get 16 as soon as you go in there.
I think they start you out with 8. It's like opening a bank account.
76ers second team foul. Curry Young at the line shooting 2.
Again, that's the best place to catch that basketball, right down in the paint area. Very tough to defend the player.
And a technical foul called, and you called that. You knew.
Technical foul has been assessed to Sixer coach Matt Gukas.
Matty Gukas and his former college teammate, Billy Oakes.
I called that before the game.
Invariably will have a little jawing session during a game, and I think Billy Oakes, who wants to, show that he's not partial to his former teammate, or actually 2 teammates there, Jimmy Lynam and Matt Gukas, he calls that technical. I'd like to. Harvey Pollack probably knows this, but Harvey probably has a record of how many technicals Oakes has called on Gukas.
I mean, it's automatic, isn't it? And to think he's wearing my old number, 21.
So Curry Young. This is to Tony.
Did you see Charles on that? He wanted that rebound so bad.
Young guarding free. World just a little short with that jump shot. Just his shots are hitting the front of the rim. The cleanup, though, done by Roy Hinson in fine fashion. 45-41. Underneath, McCormick and Corzine in a shoving match, battling for position.
Personal foul, Tim McCormick.
And the foul called on McCormick.
It is interesting with World tonight. World is looking for his shot. You'll recall, Jim, that in the early games with World, he was trying to just get used to things and, fit in. Now, after World's been on the bench a couple of games, I think he wants to look for his shot. World basically is an offensive player.
Yeah, tough to shoot it from where he's been for the last week. He's going to make up for lost time. Jordan's been quiet so far, but don't let that deceive you. At a certain point, he'll just decide he's going to take this game over.
Charles Oakley.
Oakley cleaning up inside, gets his 3rd bucket. Tony, no. Barkley trying to rebound over Oakley, commits the foul, reaching in.
Loose ball foul, Charles Barkley.
Oakley is not going to be intimidated in there. He returned an elbow in the direction of Charles. Sixers can't seem to close the gap now. 47-41, the Bulls with the lead and the ball. A little round of applause for David Wingate, who comes to the scorer's table. Barkley, did he get the rebound? He tapped it sort of to himself. And Charles taking it end to end. Charles is going to eliminate the outlet pass from the game of basketball.
On this last play, Jim, on the... We'll take a look at what happens here. But Charles, he handles that ball so well for a big guy. He just rips it out of there and tries to get it to the basket as fast as he can.
The best thing that happened is he got another foul on Michael Jordan. That's 2 on Jordan. Barkley now. Double teamed. The open man, Hinson. Roy Hinson.
Roy does that so well when he's able to get in the paint area. He's got such long arms.
Wingate did a great job on defense. Forced that turnover. Wingate was all over Paxson.
Right, and what happens, see, in the Bulls offense, they send the other guard down the court. That was Michael Jordan. So if you can play that guard the way Wingate did, you can force turnovers like that.
Sellers, the inbounder that time, threw it away. With great defense, Wingate all over Paxson. McCormick backing in on Corzine, got him up in the air. 4 points for Tim McCormick, and the Sixers now back to within 2. Jordan posting up on the blocks down there. And the shot from outside by Oakley, and all of a sudden Oakley with 8 points. Wingate, Jordan on him. Wingate tries to go behind the basket. Now you might see something.
Oh. Just a little juke fake in there.
Guess it's like the old shell game. Guess which hand I'm going to shoot with. No basket, but a foul. Here we have a look at it again. He sort of drifts along.
Well, there's nothing like that little stutter step that Michael used there. You know, just control of the basketball. Great move.
2:33 to play here in the first half. The Bulls 49, the Sixers 45. Larry Rosen will be along at halftime with your final clue, folks. That comes up at halftime as part of our Prism Sports coverage. Once you've got all those clues amassed, the rest should be easy. You know where that sneaker is? Send in your entry. Tonight's the last night, and we'll have the winner announced on February the 18th. Roy Hinson with the ball on the floor.
Roy's got those long arms, and he's able to just carry that ball long distance.
For the Bulls, Michael Jordan.
Just a beautiful move by Roy Hinson.
And to look at Michael Jordan from the free throw line.
He doesn't seem to be as dominating a player tonight as he was in Chicago, for example. Of course, he has had the flu, and the last couple of games have not been good for Michael.
Yeah, he's been troubled by that stomach flu, and his point production has been in the high 20s.
Yeah, that's good, isn't it?
Tony over Paxson, yes.
You see that bump in there, though, Jim? The way players learn how to get their opponent off balance by that little offensive bump.
Two minutes remaining in the quarter.
A little shake and bake that time, and in and out. Charles Oakley with a rebound. Banks with a rebound. Bulls are getting a lot of chances, and the Sixers miss an opportunity there, and finally Barkley comes out with it.
And look out for this.
Bodies are flying everywhere. And a whistle, and what's going to happen here? We've got Banks.
It's like a bowling alley.
We got Banks down at the free throw line, and Paxson and Oakley were down in each corner.
Really, Charles looks like he just knocks over everybody. I'm not sure who fouled him.
In any case, here we go from the free throw line. The foul that time going to be credited to Gene Banks. Michael Brown coming back in. He'll play defensive tackle. Boy, they got some big guys. Here's another one.
One of the another problem the Bulls have whenever they play against a team that has a lot of beef, teams with bigger players, Boston, for example. Of course, Boston gives everyone trouble. But when they have big, beefy lineups, the Bulls really have trouble with that type of team.
The Bulls got the beef. They just don't have the guys that can go up in the air with it. You know, you mentioned Oakley, and whoa, look at that dribble by Jordan, but he doesn't make the shot. In fact, that ball is on a string. 51-49, the Sixers now with a chance to tie the game, and it's been a long time since they've been in that spot. And they do.
Well, they were starting Puritan and Sellers, you know, two thin players. They've gone to more of a beef lineup.
Little stutter step, Barkley with the steal. Wingate, and a Sixer lead, 53-51, and a 20-second timeout, I believe, called here by the Bulls. A 20-second timeout by Chicago as the Sixers, down by 9, have surged ahead by 2.
And you see the way this game works. You have to run the fast break. You have to be able to get out on the break. Here's a good example. When you get the steal, you end up getting the advantage. See how slow the Bulls are getting back on the defense? That gives the Sixers a numbers advantage. So Andrew, again, in the middle position, a real good fast break on the part of the Sixers. They filled the lanes very well. Wingate carried the ball into the basket. But you have to be able to pick up cheap baskets in this modern-day pro basketball.
Gene Banks out front with it. He played a lot of point forward for the Bulls last year, and forcing the foul and making the shot was Jordan. He got his man up in the air, took the contact, and then flipped it in.
And that's what you call concentration. Say, like Michael Jordan, he figures he can make the basket. Once he hears the whistle, he's going to find some way to throw it at the ball, throw it at the basket. So he was able to get it down. Remarkable shot.
And with that remarkable move, he has a chance now, and does, to put the Bulls in the lead again. 54-53, 26 seconds to play, 17 now for Jordan.
Now on these one-on-one situations, when there's an isolation, what the teams want to do is force the player to a certain area, like to the left.
Barkley,
not to the right.
He is fouled at 7 seconds to play in the half. Barkley able to penetrate and draw the foul.
The reason I said to the left, Jim, is because there were like three Sixer players isolated on the left side of the court. So you want to force to your strength, not where they want to isolate. So in that case, Banks forced him to the wrong spot.
Granville Waiters in the game for the Bulls. Barkley will have another one, and Perry Young comes in to replace Banks.
Now Perry Young must be a good shooter. Doug has put him in the lineup, taking out Banks. In this situation with 7 seconds to go, you want to have good shooters in there, the possibility of a three-point shot.
Banks also has 3 fouls, so you don't want him to pick up a cheapie with seconds left. Jordan threw everybody, and he's fouled. There's the great respect that you have for Michael Jordan. How many other players in the league would draw double-team traffic with 2 seconds to go, shooting from 30 feet?
And so what did he do? He just dribbled right through the traffic, no problem. You know, with 7 seconds to go on the clock, he figures, you know, just give me the ball, I can get a shot, which he did.
And the respect that he earns with all that traffic gets him to the free throw line. Roy Hinson commits the foul for the Sixers. And that's 3 on Hinson. So the play here by Jordan will give the Bulls the lead at the end of the half. Chicago 56, the 76ers 54 as we conclude the first half. Stay tuned now for Larry Rosen and Prism Sports on your final clue to help locate Barkley's missing sneaker, and also the latest in sports features and updates. It's all coming up after this.
Good defensive statistics, but they sort of control the pace of the game. You know, they're not a fast pace, they're not a fast break team.
And they're kind of walking it up leisurely now with Michael Jordan, John Paxson, Brad Sellers, Dave Corzine as Jordan fires long range. Charles Oakley rounds out the starting 5. Jordan gets him started right away.
A well-designed play, just Jordan breaking off a screen on the baseline, but he's the guy that can finish it.
Same way they started the ball game. Jordan popped out, got the open jump shot. Barkley, room, scores.
It's amazing to me that Charles Barkley, when he's so far out on the floor, the defensive player gives him room and Charles still beats the player.
Bulls by 2. Corzine, the touch pass, and there's Jordan floating around underneath.
And what you can't do when a player comes to a front position, you can't let the ball swing back to the middle. That's what creates the lob.
Good pass by Corzine, who was looking Jordan all the way. Barkley left-handed, no. Corzine the rebound, Paxson the ball. Sixers look like they're on the verge of letting these Bulls get another 7-8 point lead, which was the story throughout much of the first half. Jordan misses, but Oakley another rebound. That's 8 in the game for him. And there's Jordan all alone.
And that was just a defensive breakdown. Andrew had sort of taken off, thought that the rebound would go the other way. Jordan was wide open under the hoop.
Talk about quiet points. He's now got 25, picking up 3 buckets to start this second half.
And I want to tell you something, Jim. I picked him for 31 tonight, which looks like it's going to be quite a bit off.
He just drifts away from everybody here.
What happened in this situation, Andrew thought that his teammates had the rebound, and so he had taken off, and that created that situation.
And it'll be Maurice Cheeks to the line. Second in the NBA in steals, trailing Alvin Robertson, rather, from San Antonio. San Antonio has helped the Bulls out a little bit. There are 3 ex-Spurs in the Bulls lineup. Corzine, Paxson, and Banks. Stolen by McCormick. Cheeks goes right by Oakley and Paxson.
And that's the advantage of speed. He just ran right by Paxson.
62-59 Chicago. Bulls have lost 3 in a row, but 2 of them have been against the Celtics. There's a bank shot by Jordan, and he's fouled, and Andrew Toney having some troubles now, sticking up with staying with Michael Jordan, and Jordan has got 27 in the game.
See, now he just works off a simple screen to get the ball. What he does his damage once he catches it. Now Andrew really played good position defense. He did have his arm down low, and that's why the foul was called. But you get away with those fouls if you make contact with a player down low, as long as the referee can't see what you're doing up top. That time he got caught.
So he did everything he was taught to do. It just didn't work. 65-59. David Wingate. And the Sixers needed a bucket there. Guess they're just going to keep it going there. Jordan finally misses one here, but a solid rebound by Oakley, and there's Jordan again.
And that was what you call a muscle rebound. I mean, he just, with his strength, just ripped that ball away.
Here's McCormick, and he just muscles his way between Corzine and Oakley, and somebody had a foul in there. And Corzine with his first.
Second, Tim McCormick.
That two-man game puts so much pressure on the defense. What happens when a guard works off of a big player? The defensive player playing the big player has got to step out and help. What they say, help and recover. You help the little guard until he can get back and recover. And oftentimes when you have a clever guard like Cheeks is, while the player's trying to get back, he just continues with the basketball and makes the play work.
Jordan with the ball had a very quiet first half for him. He had 19. He now has 30. And there's 8:50 to go here in the third quarter. Here he goes again. Another miss. That's 2 misses anyway for Michael Jordan. What kind of defensive player is he, Gene, in your opinion?
He's a good defensive player. In other words, he has all the skills. He's really an all-round basketball player. There isn't anything he can't do. And for the most part, most players that play offense should be good defensive players.
Bulls got rid of a couple who weren't last year, and George Gervin and Kyle Macy. In fact, the Bulls really did turn their team over. Wingate working on Jordan. Will get to the line. That's the 3rd foul on Jordan.
And Jordan had pretty good defensive position, but he just used his hand there to try to to get the steal or get a deflection, and that's what created the foul.
6 players are no longer with the Bulls who played last year. Gervin, Macy, Sidney Green, Woolridge, Jawan Oldham, and that Mike Schmreck.
Don't you think on the surface, though, this team could use a player like Orlando Woolridge?
Well, they didn't waste any time, though, getting rid of him. Must be more to that story than meets the eyeball.
Yeah, because Orlando is an outstanding offensive player and really can play defense. He's good overplaying.
Here's a travel by Jordan. Well, Woolridge, as you recall, was negotiating his contract during the offseason, and that probably was the main factor. Rumblings, though, last year that he and Jordan couldn't quite see eye to eye on the floor, in that Woolridge needs a lot of the basketball himself.
It's true, but I mean, there's enough there for 2 players.
Here's a steal by Paxson on the bad pass by Barkley. .67-64, and here's one out of bounds off the hands of Corzine from Sellers. Cheeks, traffic, no. McCormick takes it out of the hands of Corzine, who angrily slams the ball to the floor. On the hustling, Tim McCormick brings the Sixers back to within 1. You don't like to be in a close game with the Bulls when that 23 is on the floor. He's with it now. Sellers, no. McCormick and Corzine, and McCormick wins the battle. Here's Barkley. Wow. He just showed the ball, windmilled a while, and just rammed it home, and Charles now has 19. The Bulls want a timeout. The Sixers go on top, 68-67. 6:54 to play, third quarter. I'm Jim Barniak, along with Gene Shue, and we'll be back after this. Michael Jordan, the story in the second half for the Bulls, as he has piled up 11 points already. He doesn't get it here, but watch this.
And this is where Oakley just shows his brute strength. Of course, Michael's going to be somewhere close around the basket. Excellent pass in there, but it's great to have a player like Jordan who can finish that ball off.
How about that game last year? You know, he averaged 47 points a game in the playoffs. Three games, 3 losses against the Celtics. Bad news for the Sixers here, as apparently the aggravated ankle of Cliff Robinson has swelled up, and he is done for the night. So Robinson joins Kenny Green and Julius Erving, who are not even suited up, on the bench with ankle injuries, who will no longer play. And Cliff really gave the Sixers a good head start tonight with an excellent first quarter. Short with it is Jordan.
That was an interesting rotation. Michael Jordan ended up with a wide open shot. Maybe that's the solution. Let him be open before you do anything.
Sixers by 1 with the ball. Wingate has it. Goes right by Jordan. How about that? Oakley, he can shoot it from there, and he does once more. Oakley with 10.
Doug actually likes him to shoot from about 15, 16 feet. He has a tendency to go out further and further with his outside shot. He is hitting it tonight.
And he's wrestling Charles Barkley inside. Hinson is going to have to come on strong here in the second half, as the Sixers are running out of bodies in the front court. Paxson challenging, and tipped up and followed up by Jordan. And it almost looked like he was waiting for that miss, anticipating it, and he was ready to leap on it.
He was. He was.
Like a bass as the bait hits the water.
Charles Oakley.
A bass. Do people still catch them? I remember.
Oh, I do. I love it.
See, Paxson, this is a good 2-on-1 break. Cheeks tries to do the best he can, but Jordan's there to get the rebound. They used to have all kinds of bass in the Chesapeake Bay. I don't think you can catch them anymore.
Well, I'm talking largemouth bass, freshwater fish.
Oh, you're a real professional, huh?
Turnover 76ers, they're 8. Oakley again, but not this time. And Hinson the rebound. Hinson's got tender ankles too.
What is it with all these ankles?
Isn't it amazing? 3 players on your team out with ankle injuries. Barkley off the glass.
That's a good move. That angle shot, about 45 degrees. That's the place you should shoot it.
72-71 as the intensity starting to heat up here. Corzine. Sellers tries the glass, no. The follow-up by Oakley, no. And Charles Barkley just cleans the rebound from everybody. To Cheeks.
You fear for your life when you see him rumbling down the court.
Great assist for Charles. Jordan, though, right back. Well, he'll test our score sheet. Got to write small in his column. 34 points now.
It looks like he's going to have a 50-point night.
Good. I win the pool.
Oh, you do?
I have 50. Wingate, no. Paxson on the break.
Michael showing that he can also pass. He's not one-dimensional.
And a shootout brewing here now as the individual talents of these guys taking over the game.
See, you can't in that two-man game. You can't let a player like Chief just knife in through the lane. You have to stop him at the point of the ball where the screen is set. The Bulls are really making a mistake on that particular play.
Corzine and Sellers will come out. Brown comes in along with Gene Banks. So Mike Brown, who is lumbering up to the free throw line, getting into position. There's Danny Brains, who will come on momentarily for Philadelphia. A tie game at 75. Roy Hinson to the bench. Hinson is the only front court player on the Sixer bench right now. The others, Coulter, Free, and Tony, all guards. So the Sixers really thin up front.
And they have a lot of guards. So they have 6 guards, of course, on the team. That's a lot of guards out of your 12 players.
Another 2 for Jordan.
Always open, isn't he? No matter what, the guy's always open. He's a master at reading screens and breaking open when he can receive the pass. A lot of players are open, but they don't break open at the right time.
Cheeks lucky he didn't get called for a travel, a jump ball, the result of it here. Bo hit the ground and then slid and rolled for a while. Willie Oakes a little compassionate. And we'll have a jump ball. It'll be Paxson and Cheeks. The Bulls will try to go to Oakley, right? Nope, don't get the tap. Cheeks wins the tap. Wingate. David Wingate. Here's Jordan.
Oh,
what a nice pass to Bennett Salvatore.
Bennett should have taken it and put it in.
Salvatore wide open on the break.
He doesn't know how to handle the break. That guy needs coaching.
Look at Graves. McCormick.
The Seattle duo.
80-77, 76ers. And a 20-second timeout. The call being made by the Bulls.
The 22nd timeout.
Danny Brains sets this whole play up. Just able to just get into the middle of the lane.
Full timeout.
McCormick just waiting there for the ball.
Full timeout, 76ers.
Well, they've stretched the 22nd timeout to a full timeout. 2:45 to play here in the third quarter. The Sixers 80 and the Bulls 77. And Michael Jordan just having a ball. He's got 36 points.
So you have 50 points, you say?
Huh?
You have 50 points for Michael?
I have 50 in the pool. Here's one for you. Let me just quickly add this up. Jordan has 17 points in this quarter. Do you know what the most points ever scored in one quarter in the Spectrum here is? Or I'll let you slide on that, but who has the record?
Who has the record?
He's in the building.
Oh, I pick Andrew Toney.
Did anybody tell you that? Wow.
It's amazing how I can come up with these answers so quickly. I guess I could probably figure out how many, too.
Yeah, the help you're getting. Andrew Toney had 24, I believe, against the Boston Celtics some years back.
Do you know that Cliff Robinson, when he was with the Nets, he also scored 24 points in a quarter when they were playing in, what was it, Piscataway? But in the meantime, this has been a very, very good basketball game. Both teams have really been going at it. The scoring has been outstanding.
We're looking a long way away from Doug Collins, who's making like Palmer method circles.
Yeah, you have to learn to do that when you're a coach. Just what he's doing there. You scribble things. No one knows what you're doing, but you got to scribble. And then, yeah, the big circles, it's almost like going back to kindergarten. And then the players, they look at all that stuff and they say, okay, coach, Michael Jordan gets it again. That's the only play you have to know. Where does Michael catch it?
Michael Brown pops out to catch it. Gene Banks with it. Sixers by 3. Almost a throwaway. Here's Paxson. Inside position and the follow-up by Oakley.
Yeah, see that Oakley, he has a chance to position himself. That was a result of a double team, and we talked about offensive rebounding when teams double team.
The NBA's second leading rebounder with 11 boards now. Reigns has it go off his hands. The breakaway to Jordan, who beautifully throws it to Oakley, blocked by Barkley. Oakley in one direction, Barkley in the other, and a foul called on Charles Barkley, and the crowd does not approve.
He tried to do a Michael Jordan, but he can't jump like Michael Jordan. So this is a good pass by Banks and a fine pass by Jordan. But now he should be able to get this in. But Charles is so good back there. Looked like he had all ball, Jim.
Close. Tied now at 80.
Perry Young returns for Michael Jordan.
Jordan going to get a little rest. And Perry Young comes in.
This, for a player that has not played, this Perry Young is getting an awful lot of work.
This is his first game for the Bulls tonight. Wonder how it feels going in for Jordan.
It feels like you're going to be in there for a short time. That's what it feels.
Hope he doesn't think he has to take up the slack. Here's Wingate. David Wingate off to a fine third quarter now. He's got 12 points in the quarter. Or 10 rather, 12 in the game. Sixers 82, Bulls 80. Paxson is short with it. Michael Brown and Barkley fighting for the rebound. You see who won that battle. And the human outlet pass takes it right down the middle of McCormick.
That was one of those, let's dribble through everybody that we can and then pass it to whoever's open.
84-80. What's the travel and then a throwaway by Paxson. He got a little confused there. Here's the Sixers trying to capitalize there, and Perry Young goes wandering out of bounds with it.
These Bulls are doing a good job tonight. That pass was to Billy Oates. You got to keep these officials happy.
History being made here. Paxson has 2 turnovers in the same game.
Can you believe this, Jim? Pretty soon the officials will be calling for the ball.
Barkley in heavy traffic makes the shot, and he wants, where's my foul? He yells at Billy Oates.
And you see what happens to the Bulls when Michael Jordan is on the bench.
He's not going to be there long. 86-80 now with 42 seconds left. They'll keep him out for the rest of the quarter, obviously. And you can bet he'll be here when the bell sounds for the fourth. Michael Brown turnaround, way off with that one, and another rebound by the Sixers. Brains has it, and he is not so gently nudged into the photographers there.
Now they have the full clock now, 24 seconds.
Watch Brains. He'll get a little help here.
Yeah, it looked like both McCormick and Brains had the ball, but they just fumbled it out of bounds.
All the injuries the Sixers are having, you hate to see anybody who's somewhat healthy get in any trouble out there.
See what Cheeks has done in this play. See, most teams, they need that point guard to set up their offense. So Cheeks, he knows that. He just goes out and does a great job overplaying.
He has made it tough for Paxson.
And now a secondary player has it, Banks. And see, that's good defense.
He must have heard you because he looked pretty good going down the middle there, and he gets the bucket. 4 seconds left. Wingate will have to fire it. Wingate almost. And at the end of 3, in what is shaping up as a real exciting tussle here, the Sixers 86 and the Chicago Bulls 82.
When the offensive player is making his move, going to the basket, Oakley is positioning himself for what he does best, and that's offensive rebound. So when the shot did go to the opposite side of the basket, he was right there to get the job done.
The Bulls, in fact, only have 3 scorers in double figures average per game. Jordan, of course, Oakley, and Paxson. It's rather unusual. And 2 of them, Paxson and Oakley, are less than 13 a game. Cheeks on the drive and a whistle.
And one thing the Bulls do not have, and that's a shot blocker. And when you don't have a shot blocker, you have to close down the middle. Now on this play, Cheeks just goes ahead and beats Jordan.
Cheeks shooting 2.
And the Bulls just didn't shut down the middle as quickly as they would have liked to.
Looked like Perry Young was the guy that got a piece of Mo Cheeks, who will have a couple. Wingate grabs the deep rebound. 87-82. Earlier this season, these 2 teams met at Chicago Stadium. The score was, I think, 84-84 in a pretty close tussle. And then the Bulls just blew the Sixers right off the floor. Hinson.
That's some kind of great pass. Not a recommended pass for a young player. Getting up off the ground, leaving your feet, and then trying to find a player. You usually want to find a player while you're under control.
Corzine double teamed. He almost throws it away. Perry Young with it. Short. Barkley another rebound. 16 boards for Barkley. Charles got to do something with it. Follows his own miss. So a rebound and a bucket for Charles.
He's going to show Mike Brown some moves that he has not seen in Italy, I'll tell you that.
Chicago Bulls call a timeout as the Sixers take their biggest lead. Philadelphia 91, Chicago 82, 10:47 to go in the game. We'll be back after this. Michael Jordan has got a lot of the attention tonight. He's helped fill the building, that's for sure, but this man here hasn't exactly taken a back seat. Charles Barkley.
Yes, the double coverage. Of course, Charles is an excellent basketball player, so when he goes up in the air, he has that ability to be able to find a player. Now, the interesting thing here is when Charles misses the shot, he's going to be relentless. He's going to stay with it. So his only thought on his mind when he misses, he's going back after the ball. Michael Brown was not ready for that. The other interesting thing here with the Bulls, they only turn the ball over a little over 15 times a game, but the opposition only turns the ball over 15 times a game, so they don't create any turnovers with their defense.
Gene Banks guarded by Danny Brains, and expect to see a lot of Michael Jordan.
You just saw a lot of Michael Jordan.
He just took whatever I was going to say right out of my mouth. I forget even what I was going to say. Watch this. Incredible.
Yeah. Michael Jordan shooting.
See now, even though he was bumped, when he shot the ball, I mean, what concentration. He's still thinking, I'm going to make the shot. See, some players, when they get fouled, And there are a whole bunch of players like this. They get fouled. They don't even think about making the basket. They figure, well, I'm going to the line. Michael always thinks about 3.
39 points for Jordan. Danny Brains, the extra step, the good look. Barkley the rebound. Barkley the shot. And that is the story at the other end.
It's the hidden ball trick. He had it with his right hand.
Watch the Barkley rebound. He's not even in good position.
No, he pushes people out of the way. You know, Charles, he gets away with murder, as a matter of fact. But he just makes the right shoves and pushes and then just finds a way to get it in.
Not too shabby a night for Barkley. 28 points, 17 rebounds, 10-10 to play. And a travel here on Oakley. Sixers have that 9-point spread again. Here's Barkley with Oakley guarding him. And a foul called. Charles has that great sense of taking those slow steps, and then when he spots daylight, the quick step. Here you'll see an example.
Technical foul, Gene Banks.
Now Oakley is a big, strong guy when he's playing, and they did call a technical on Gene Banks. But Oakley, Barkley has a way, not only does he have strength, but he also knows how to just use his body to get around people.
And a free one for the Sixers. Remember that Barkley's still at the line as the Sixers go up by 10. And a rather concerned Doug Collins begins to fret here. One more for Barkley.
Charles does not like to miss anything, does he?
He's missing a sneaker.
Yeah, but someone will win that contest.
96-85. Now Jordan Wingate and Brains on Jordan. Here's Banks, puts it on the floor and loses it, but gets it back and scores quickly over Hinson. No easy chore.
No, that wasn't. That was a good quick move on his part. Hinson down there is very good blocking those shots.
Sixers slowing down the pace too right now. And the isolation for Barkley. And he loses it. (96-87). Banks to Jordan. Oh, brother.
What a player to watch.
Now you see it, now you don't. Now you count it.
How would you like to be a defensive player, Jim, and after your career is over and you say, oh yeah, I played Michael Jordan, I held him to 50 a game, and be thought of as a defensive player?
Discussion now over whether we're shooting or inbounding here.
Yeah, do you remember when Wilt was averaging 50 a game?
Yep. Yep, that was back in 61-62.
Shooting fadeaway jump shots.
That will never be broken, that record. That's in there with the Joe DiMaggio 56-game job.
Now, you don't think anybody will break that?
50 a game? Not
56.
Today's game.
Hitting in 56 straight games?
Nope. There's a block in there as the Bulls put a little defensive pressure on. Nobody will hit 56 games again. And there's Brains, but he travels.
We watched that Michael Jordan block Again, you want to try to keep that ball in play when you block a shot. Michael swatted out of bounds. That looks good, but the team gets possession of the ball once you swat it out of bounds.
96-89 with 8:22 to play, and Jordan rings home another one.
The old professional shove. That's how he got open. He bumped Wingate on the baseline, was able to break free.
Jordan at 43 and counting. And make that 13 for Mo Cheeks. Cheeks, the Sixers' second leading scorer behind Barkley. 2 below his per game average at the moment. Jordan down low. And here's Oakley with the muscle move. Now we're going to have a foul called on Wingate? No, Hinson. Hinson with his 4th foul. And remember that the Sixers are really short in the front court. Julius Erving, Kenny Green, and Cliff Robinson all out for the rest of this game. Green and Irving, of course, never win it. Robinson got hurt back in the second quarter. An illegal defense to call against Philadelphia.
And the Bulls went into a 2-man game. They're looking to post Jordan up. Of course, the Sixer players were in the wrong defensive position. You have to stay in certain areas, otherwise they call the illegal defense.
If ever a group of ankles needed an all-star break, the Sixers have them. Jordan from left field that time. Barkley just rolls over Banks to Tony. And the Sixers 100, the Bulls 91. And another thing that Charles is piling up tonight are assists. On the baseline.
Personal foul, Boy Hinson. That's his 5th personal
That's
foul.
the worst call you're going to hear right now. Number 5 on Hinson. So he's got to come out. McCormick checks in. Hinson, the lone front court reserve, and he's got 5 fouls. And this is Banks, head down and firing. And that will count. The continuation ruled here in the favor of Gene Banks.
And that was a good play, Jim. Banks was able to work off of a screen, and that allowed him to break free. Gene Banks does handle the ball very well, and he was able to get the ball up off the glass and in.
And one more for the former West Philadelphia high school star. First played at Duke. And a lane violation here. So Banks will get another crack at it. Barkley ruled to be, Barkley and Oakley have just, and Oakley threw an elbow at Barkley. Now, I thought elbows are automatic technical. That might be it for Oakley.
It's a friendly little game, you know, just 2 big guys just having fun out there.
Well, he got away with one there. Charles is being very, very smug here.
Well, Charles probably got him first.
You know, I thought that elbow was an automatic technical, and if it's a flagrant elbow, it's automatic expulsion.
Yes.
But anyway, nothing happens out of that. McCormick has it blocked in there by Banks and Oakley.
Everyone.
100-93, 6:23 to go. Spin move there by Banks, and he loses it in traffic, and McCormick scoops it up. To Tony, the open jumper. Boy, Oakley really has a knack for the ball off that glass.
It's hard to be trying your spin move when you're in traffic.
14 boards for Oakley. Jordan, high and in.
Michael Jordan.
We're in the 40s now for him, well in there. 45 points for Michael Jordan. 45 of the 95. The Sixers want a timeout here to regroup for the final 5 minutes and 44 seconds. Sixers on top, 100-95. We're coming back after this. Sixers clinging to a 5-point lead after trailing most of the first half by 5 and 7 and 9. As we watch a missed shot here, and there goes Charles. Don't get in my way, Barkley.
He does. He just runs over people.
And we'd be remiss if we didn't show you a little Michael J.
Well, that is some body control, Jim. It's amazing to me how you can just slide between players the way Michael Jordan does. That is some skill.
Michael Jordan will break a record tonight for most points by a visiting player. He's only got one more to beat Bob McAdoo's record of 46 points.
And Chicago hasn't won here in a long, long time, have they?
Wow, Barkley is not happy now with Oakley. Those two guys,
they would like to go at each other.
It's been a trade-off, you know. At each end of the floor, one or the other has taken a shot. And this time, Oakley gets it in. Well, we're talking heavyweights here.
I think right here, I think Charles was saying, I'd like a little piece of you. Happy to take a little piece of Charles Oakley.
He is a rather ornery fellow, though, that Oakley.
Yeah.
I mean, he started out from the opening tap tonight, making sure nobody got near him.
His sister, little Annie, was the good one in the family.
.102.95. Corzie on a great pass from Banks.
Yeah, really good passing when the double team took place. You got to be able to find that open player. The Bulls did a good job.
The Bulls hanging right in there. Sixers can't afford to let up. It's 102.97. And no lead really is too comfortable with Jordan around. Here goes that matchup again. It's Barkley and Oakley, and Barkley gets the best of it this time.
Saying the Bulls have decided that they're not going to double him, but I mean, Oakley really can't handle Charles Barkley.
Charles with 33.
The Bulls are going to have to change their strategy and start doubling.
Oops. 33 is supposed to open your eyes, but the Bulls got a guy with 45. And a 3-second violation on Oakley.
This looks like a two-man game with Charles Barkley and Andrew Toney.
Backdoor alley-oop. Wow. That was the in-your-face foul move. Look at it again.
And that was a set call. Andrew Toney, you know, a little signal by Andrew Toney and Charles Barkley. Great play.
That's got the capacity crowd on its feet. And on the floor goes Oakley again. This time he drags Andrew Toney down with him. No, that's Jordan. I beg your pardon. I don't know if I would attempt to show up Charles Barkley. Not the strategy. Banks with a strong rebound, and he is fouled. Charles, I think, just kind of early on in this quarter fouled away in his head that Oakley was trying to show him up, and he was going to get his time.
Yeah, Banks really gets a power rebound in there, in the right position.
35 points for Barkley.
The reason I like Jordan, he's such an exciting player, but what motivates Charles Barkley? He's a highly motivated player. But when you're in the same arena with Jordan, it's got to add some motivation to you. And Charles, I mean, he has a little bit of talent out there himself.
106-99. 4 minutes left to play. Sixers in front by 7. Crowd really enjoying this game. They've got what they wanted. The Sixers in the lead and lots of entertainment. Charles again. Stepped out of bounds. Good call. Bennett Salvatore right there. We could see it from our vantage point.
Charles, when he makes that move to the baseline, he's able to just wrap his arm around his opponent. Once he gets the step, he just shoves the defensive player out of the way.
Good backdoor move. Whoa, Jordan missed the shot, but keeping it alive is Oakley, and he's fouled.
Loose ball foul, Danny Brains.
Brains commits the foul. It's only his first.
Over the limit.
Jordan almost put another spectacular one away.
Yeah, he doesn't know how he misses this shot. He figured that's a gimme. That's like a little 3-foot putt.
Do you give 3-foot putts? I got to play with you.
Where I play, I also take them.
Also having a fine game. He's got 16. Here's Brains. That's as heavy a traffic as you can find. Barkley trying to fight it in there. Brains picks it up. Give Charles Barkley credit, though, for keeping it alive.
And a good hustle play by Danny Brains.
108-100. 2:55 to go as Oakley thinks about a long one.
And that's just the shot that you want them to shoot in that situation. Much better for him to shoot it than Michael Jordan.
108-102. Tony breaks around the screens. It's getting very physical in there right now, especially with Oakley and Barkley right there. Foul by Oakley as Barkley made the great move, and in a frustration, Oakley, all he could do was shove off.
We've talked about this so many times before. You cannot, when you're playing a player like Barkley, you can't have contact with him because he's just going to roll off of you. He has great strength, great quickness. So when you play a player like Barkley, you have to have contact, force him out, and then take a step back. And then as he makes his move, make contact with him again.
5 fouls on Oakley, and I think a pretty tired Barkley at the free throw line.
I wonder, Jim, why he's so tired.
That's 37 for Barkley. Cheeks with a steal on Paxson and a tackle by Paxson, diving for the ball, and down goes Cheeks. He gets up slowly.
They were almost going to call the breakaway foul. As it turned out, it will just be a one-on-one situation. Not a breakaway because he was over in the front court when the foul was committed.
The Bulls haven't been getting the ball in the franchise lately, and that's hurting them.
Shooting 2.
He was in the backcourt. Let me rephrase that. He looked like he was in the front court, but they called him being in the backcourt.
A timeout called here by the Bulls. Sixers 111-102, and rookie coach Doug Collins has got his work cut out for him now.
He does, because the Bulls being down 9 points, they really could use a couple three-point shots. They're not a good three-point shooting team. Jordan has not at all shot well from the three-point area because most of his shots out there have been forced. The Bulls shoot very few three-point shots as part of their offense. So they're shooting a very, very low percentage from the three-point area. So I think if the shot's available, they'll take it, but basically they're going to get the ball to Michael Jordan.
Jordan, who averages about 30 shots per game, has really only shot 28 three-pointers attempts all season long, so you're right on about that. But when you got his talent, why mess around from distance? Just go in there and make it happen inside.
You can see, though, the value of a three-point shot, though, if you have players that can shoot it with range, because in a game like this, it would afford you the opportunity to win. Right now, the situation for the Bulls looks desperate. Of course, having Michael Jordan, he's capable of taking it to the basket and get three at any time.
Maybe not this year, but soon the Bulls, I believe, are going to be a team to be reckoned with. They get a few more parts in their arsenal here.
Charles Barkley has done nothing at all tonight to hurt his league-leading stats. He shot 12 for 16, and he's had 18 rebounds. Jordan has been 17 for 29 and has his 45 points.
The Bulls in trouble now, fighting uphill, down by 9. Cheeks has done a great job of keeping Paxson off guard, having to work hard for everything. Corzine can't get it up there, but he's fouled. Barkley picks him up.
Personal foul, Tim McCormick is second.
Second foul for Tim McCormick.
Dave Corzine shooting 2.
Dave Corzine makes a move he hasn't made all that often, a spin move in the lane. That's not a good move for a big player, especially when you're in the lane area, and a lot of people usually in that area. But he was fouled on the play.
One thing the Bulls would really like to do is find a way to cut down on Corzine's minutes. But he is not the kind of guy they want playing, 35 minutes a game at center.
Yeah, I guess they'd like to play him about 24 minutes in that area.
2 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter, 2 minutes.
111, 103, under 2 minutes now. Barkley dribbles around Banks, has it blocked in there, and another whistle. And this time the foul called on Corzine.
Teams over the limit. Charles Barkley shooting 2.
It is remarkable that Charles, of course, he has such control of the basketball. He's always under control with the ball, but the ability to be able to get to the baseline as often as he does. He made a good fake just keeping the ball. It's certainly an advantage when you can handle that basketball.
Charles Barkley's career high, 41. Right now, 37. (113, 103). Three-point shot. Jordan, no. Rebound, Cheeks. He slaps it out, and he's going to be fouled as he tried to slap it out to a teammate.
Personal foul, Gene Banks.
Banks with the personal foul, and that's going to be it for Gene Banks. 6 fouls for Banks. With 1:36 to play. Brad Sellers replaces Banks. his own quiet, unassuming way, Mo Cheeks with another solid effort. 17 points for him. A timeout called by the Bulls. 1:36 on the clock. The Sixers 115, Chicago 103. Well, Gene, we were talking the other day about how infrequent we have seen the Sixers with a big lead come down the final 2 minutes, and it looks like we finally got our wish here. We don't have to hold our breath on the final shot.
Really, most of the games that we've covered the Sixers, they seem to always go down on the wire. Some very close basketball games, and the Sixers have done a good job winning quite a few of those close games.
And suddenly this one has popped open in the Sixers' favor. 115-103. Jordan, he's there for a two-pointer.
Doug wanted 3 on that. Doug wants the 50, I believe. He must have 50 also.
Personal foul, Dave Corzine.
Jordan has 47, matching the number that he posted when the Sixers last played this team out in Chicago.
Tim McCormick shooting 2.
We'll have Tim McCormick on the line.
There's been a wide difference tonight in free throws also. The Sixers are 33 for 41. The Bulls have only gone to the line 23 times, 12 for 23.
That's a lot of free throws, 41. Well, we just had another one.
Of course, Barkley has been creating a lot of those free throws with doing a lot of the penetrating and getting fouled.
Three-pointer, nope. Cheeks has Tony, but elects to pull it up and take the safer route with the clock in the Sixers' favor now. No need to gamble on anything. Michael Jordan trying to grab the ball, come up with a steal, fouls Andrew Tony.
His 4th, team's over the limit.
Do you think Michael Jordan knows how many points he has, Jim?
No.
You don't?
No. How could it?
Did you ever see a player like look up his sleeve when he gets to? It's probably hard remembering how many you have when you get up there in the 40s. But you'd be surprised. Most players do know how many points they have.
Really? That's very interesting.
Well, I see Michael shooting those 3. He has 47. I think he'd like to round it off with 50.
Paxson hits the three-point shot.
It's just like a baseball player. You'd rather hit 300 than 299. 50 sounds better than 47.
Delay a game warning against the Bulls here as they try and pull out all the stops. Oakley disappears for the moment after fouling Barkley, and Charles Oakley will just get up and go right to the Bulls bench. He is fouled out. The second Bull to do so tonight.
I know that didn't look all that good, but Doug was calling for a foul immediately, and Charles Oakley did exactly what Doug wanted him to do. Of course, Charles didn't like that all too much. Charles Barkley.
Charles Barkley at the line, shooting 2.
But Barkley has a chance to, speaking of numbers, creep toward his career high. He's 3 points away from his career high of 41. 1:06 to go. Sixers looking good. I think maybe he does know how many points he has.
That's where players learn how to count with it. By knowing how many they score.
Barkley with a block on Corzine.
Loose ball foul, Dave Corzine. That's his 4th. Team's over the limit.
Well, you make a good point now, guys. The fans got exactly what they wanted. A great show. They saw their heroes, Barkley and Jordan, do their thing, and they saw their team, the Sixers, win a ball game. Michael Jordan turned around, didn't have a shot, decided to hang in the air a while and fired one up. That gives Barkley another opportunity to pursue that career high. He's struggling. Two guys that are scoring 40-plus points on the same score sheet here. I have no idea what's going on. Cheeks with a block.